Hi and welcome. Today we're going to talk about mindful play. This presentation is for parents, teachers, or anyone who has playful interactions with kids. Today we want to explore what play is, the benefits of play, and how we engage in play mindfully as caretakers. So what is play? Play is fun and imaginative, it's relaxed and self-directed, and it's a voluntary act. And play typically has rules chosen by the players instead of an external source. The United Nations High Commission for Human Rights has declared play as a human right for all children. And play is often categorized in three ways: social, independent, and guided play. Social play is when a child plays with one or more other people. The emphasis of the play is on socializing or interaction. Independent play, in contrast, is when play is done alone. Guided play is often done with a parent or a guardian or an older peer. Within play, we have a few elements such as choice, wonder, and delight. Choice looks like kids setting goals, developing and sharing ideas, making rules, negotiating challenges, and choosing how long to play. Wonder looks like kids exploring, creating, pretending, imagining, and learning from trial and error. And delight looks like happiness, kids smiling, laughing, being silly, or generally feeling cozy and at ease. Here we have the wellness wheel, and we want to now talk about the wellness wheel as it regards to the benefits of play. As Team Colorado Spirit, we like to categorize areas of wellness in our life. We break wellness down into 5 categories, which are spiritual, emotional, physical, social, and intellectual. Physically, in terms of play, active play helps with coordination, balance, motor skills, and energy management for things like sleep and appetite. In terms of emotional, during play, kids learn how to deal with emotions like fear, anger, aggression, and frustration, and also helps with practicing empathy and understanding. In the social realm, it helps kids negotiate group dynamics, collaborate, and compromise. Play also exposes kids to the social consequences of engaging in forms of play unwelcome by the group. Social play helps kids exchange thoughts and ideas and bolsters communication skills as well. In terms of the intellectual realm, play helps in exercising reasoning, logic, and memory. Imaginative play allows kids to create new worlds in which they can exercise control. And in terms of spiritual wellness means feeling connected to the people around you and to the natural and man-made world, and that you play an important role in these realms. In terms of spirituality, play helps kids explore what their values are in relations to others, as well as their own cultural values. Feeling connected to others, exploring the physical limits of your body, and sharing your intellect and imagination all inform someone's spiritual well-being.
Now let's talk a little bit about how play develops resiliency and coping during adversity. Really what this means is that kids learn resiliency through meaningful failure. There's several ways here on the screen where this can happen. First, they can learn self-regulation, which is the central ability in dealing with stress. As a naturally interactive experience, playful experiences can help children learn to manage their behaviors and express their emotions productively, problem solve when interacting with others, take others' perspectives into account, and to demonstrate empathy. Especially for kids experiencing adversity, adult-guided play can be very helpful. For example, in a study looking at drop-off time on the first day of preschool, a situation that has been well documented to be stressful for children, high anxiety children who engaged in imaginative play showed reduced levels of stress. Adults typically will also experience their own unique stress during times of adversity, and implementing play interventions that address both caregivers and children's needs can make an important difference. When playing with peers or caregivers, children learn to manage their emotions because of social interactions. Play can also help facilitate social interactions among peers who may otherwise have trouble communicating. For instance, children who experience difficulties with their primary language spoken in their environment can engage in play as an alternate mode of expression. And finally, play can help children feel in control and can develop problem-solving skills. There's also several advantages of playing with caretakers. One advantage is skill development, such as this can look like taking social cues or self-control. In addition, research has linked parent-child interactions and physical and pretend play to the development of specific skills, including creativity, working memory, gross motor skills, cognitive flexibility, emotion regulation, and peer group leadership skills. Another advantage is that it widens the child's imagination of what's possible, and it can stimulate oxytocin, which is a hormone that promotes the caretaker and child bonding. Now that we know the advantages of playing with caretakers, let's talk about how caretakers can help their kids play. First, plan for play and create space for it. If kids have been spending too much time in front of screens, say to them, "Tomorrow, let's have some of your friends over here to play," or "Let's walk over to the playground this afternoon for a few hours and have some fun." You can find fun in the materials that you have. A lot of things that you might have in your garage or in your kitchen actually might be quite engaging for children of all ages. Rather than buying new toys, for example, use old Amazon boxes. Say to kids, "You can build a fort or a time machine or whatever you want. Take over the living room." This ability to choose materials can spur creativity. Be open to risk. Part of letting children play is acknowledging that they might get a scrape or a bang on their knee, and that's okay. If you let children know that you can trust them to take small risks, they'll likely enjoy creating and exploring. Caretakers can model play. Solis, a researcher, says that there has been a culture of adult play in order for children to play as well. If children watch their parents or grandparents or whoever it is having hobbies, enjoying a soccer match, being creative, being outside, then it's more likely for kids to say, "With all of this summer time I have, I'd rather go build a fort than sit in front of the TV." Play with your kids, play together. If I knew this as a kid and I had experienced this as a parent, your kids might actually want to play with you. Build sandcastles together, dress up together, tell stories together. Really get into the spirit of play and doing it together. That's the beauty of summertime or vacation. Wait out the cries of "I'm bored." Kids often have a pass-through that they have to pass through that initial discomfort and recover the space and presence to be self-directed and curious and alleviate that boredom. And with time, they'll emerge on the other side and kind of settle into an activity. In order to set up more realistic play expectations as a caretaker, you can ask yourself several questions. What play do I like as the caretaker? What play do I not like? Does the play that I enjoy with my child have to be structured or unstructured? You don't have to play every game your child wants. Your child will benefit so much more if you are fully present with them and playing intently. Take a break and disengage when you are done, rather than passively playing and staying around and being on your phone or something of that sort. Now we're going to play a game. Simon Says. This is a children's game, usually done with 3 or more players. So one player takes the role of Simon, which will be me, and issues instructions to the other players, which should be followed only when prefaced with the phrase "Simon says." Players are eliminated from the game by either following instructions that are not immediately preceded by the phrase, or by failing to follow an instruction that does not include the phrase "Simon says." This is the ability to distinguish between fake commands and real commands, rather than physical ability that usually matters in other games. In this case, the action just needs to be attempted. So we'll go through these in several categories of how this can be beneficial for children. The first one is body awareness. So Simon says, touch your elbows. Give yourself a hug. We're going to start over. Simon messed up. So the first one is body awareness. So Simon says, touch your elbows. Great job, Muneer. Touch your ears. He didn't do it. Good job. Simon didn't say. Simon says, touch your nose. And Simon says, touch your toes. Great job. We'll just do one example for the following ones. So this can help children learn to cross their midline. So Simon says, give yourself a hug. Great. Simon says, pretend you're a fish and swim around. Can help with listening skills. So Simon says, pat yourself on the back because you're doing a great job. It can help with memory. So Simon says, touch your nose, then pat yourself on the head twice. It can help with visual perception. So Simon says, stick out your tongue and clap your hands. Can also help with vocabulary. So Simon says, touch your clavicle. Great job, Muneer. Thanks for playing. So this is just an example of a common childhood development game that can have positive childhood implications.
No, okay. Play is the highest form of research. This is a quote misattributed to Albert Einstein. This quote was actually by a researcher by the name of N.V. Scarf on Einstein's view of play. Scarf somewhat summarized what Einstein really said, which was, quote, the desire to arrive finally at logically connected concepts is the emotional basis of a vague play with basic ideas. This combinatory or associative play seems to be the essential feature in productive thought. So we wanted to talk about another game called Rock, Paper, Scissors. So Rock, Paper, Scissors is a game lots of kids play across the world. And it's a hand game usually played between two people in which each player simultaneously forms one of these three shapes with an outstretched. These shapes are rock and a closed fist, paper and a flat hand, and scissors, a fist with the index finger and the middle finger extended, forming a V. A player who decides to play paper, cover rock, will beat another player who has chosen scissors. So essentially, rock is beaten by paper, paper is beaten by scissors, and scissors is beaten by rock. Right now, me and Sarah are going to play a few rounds of rock, paper, scissors. And the point of our playing it is to demonstrate the psychological impact of the game, which we'll talk about afterwards. All right, so here we go. The way we play is we go rock, paper, scissors, and then we shoot. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, Sarah beat me on that one. She got rock, which defeats scissors. Another round. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, she got me again. This is the final round. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, 3 for 3, a hat trick. So, what is the psychological impact of playing that game? We tend to try to anticipate the goals of others' actions, which allows us to understand others as ourselves. This is kind of like taking perspective taking. And this is the essence or the cornerstone of empathy. So when Sarah and I are playing rock, paper, scissors, we are each trying to anticipate the other person's move. We're trying to see if there's some other kind of pattern within their behavior that helps us anticipate what their next move might be. So in essence, we have to sort of take their perspective to understand which move to play in order to defeat them. So this can help with empathy because children can learn that they can be supportive when the other party is discouraged. They can also learn how to take turns and also often facing a defeat in this game since it's a game of chance. This helps games with perspective taking and both players not only trying to anticipate the actions of others, but can help children learn how it feels to be on either side of the game, regardless of the result of the game itself. And this can help children develop empathy as well, and they can learn to be supportive when the other party is losing or excited about the result of each round.
And the final game we'll play is I Spy. I Spy is a 2 or more person game where one player, called the spy, gives a brief one-adjective description about something that is within the shared field of vision. The one-adjective description should be the most obvious thing about the object and acts as a hint to help the other players guess what the spy is looking at. The spyer will say, for example, "I spy with my little eye something blue." The guesser will then look around for an object that is blue. If the spyer guesses correctly, or the guesser guesses correctly, the game ends. If they get it wrong, then they become the spyer and give their own hint for their own selected object. The first person to guess right wins. So we're going to do a one-round example of this. So I spy with my little eye a dog.
Is it this dog?
It's that dog.
Oh wow.
Great job, Muneer. So the psychological impacts of I Spy is another example of a great game that has positive ones. It can help with memory resilience, visual discrimination, and can help cope the navigation of very cluttered environments. And then finally, Muneer will put up on the screen some play resources and their links. So Simon Says, Rock, Paper, Scissors, I Spy are all examples of some social guided play. These are not in these links, but there are other play resources in these links. So once we get the screen up here, you can go ahead and pause this if you'd like, or take a picture so that you can hang on to these resources. Perfect. There's your 3 resources. Thank you all for joining us.
Thanks everybody for joining us today.